All right. I want to welcome you guys to the Dynasty Strong team call. I want to remind you guys of our mission, which is empowering others to continually develop into their fullest potential. So I'm going to keep my eyes on the participant list so I can see when people are hopping on. I see that Veta just hopped on. I got Mike on here with us live too. So, hey, we got a small crowd here for this Inviting 101. But I want to go through a couple of announcements, especially for those that aren't going to be able to be on here live, so that you can remember what's coming up and what to think about going into the future. But I want to share just a couple of things with you from my own personal development. A quote that really stood out to me today, and I shared it on my social media today, was, "We are kept from our goal not by obstacles, but by a clear path to a lesser goal." And I was like, oh man, that's so true. Like, I've seen that in myself. I've seen that in other people. It's a lot of times not the obstacles, but it's like, here's something, a smaller goal that's maybe not in line with what I actually want. And there's a clearer path to that. So we're more likely to take the more clear path than the one that seems harder to get through with more challenges, let's say. So I thought about that. And then one of the other things is, as I was listening to my personal development this morning, I was listening to a podcast on the School of Greatness with Lewis Howes. And he shared something powerful with me. Well, he was interviewing somebody that talked about their goals, and this guy had accomplished incredible things. And at the end, Lewis asks them, if everything you ever put on YouTube and training, any of your trainings all disappeared, and you had three things you could share with the world before you left this world, what would they be? And one of them was he just mentioned like that your family's more important than your job, than your business. And I was like, I got the chills as I just said that, because today I had a lot of scheduled calls. I got this team call. We're doing a team call for the coaches that it's easier for them to do at night. So I got a team call tonight. We got this call. I had a training for France that I needed to do today. Along with all my other things that I get to do with my business, like my own personal business activities on the business activity tracker. And so I felt as I woke up, I got a lot of things to do. I got tons of things to do. And then my daughter texts me and she's like, hey, we got out of a class early. Could you come get us to come home for lunch and bring us back? And I was like, at first I was like, oh, I got so much to do. And then I was like, hey, you know what? It's 1 hour of my day. Like I can fit that in. And so instead of just bringing them here, I said, hey, would you like me to take you and your friends out to lunch? And I've never taken her friends out to lunch. And so I went and picked them up at the high school, and we went out and we ate a breakfast burrito. And then I got back, and here I am on time for the call. And I'm sure I can figure out everything else I need to do for my business today. So the lesson behind that I want to share with you guys is, when you have a goal, that you remember that what your top priorities are, what you want to accomplish in your life, what you're accomplishing your goals for. Just a quick reminder for you guys about my story. I started this business because I used to work 12-hour days from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. and my wife worked nights. And my goal was to be able to come home from work and be able to spend time with my wife and my kids. And, whether it's taking a walk or shooting hoops outside, I wanted to do that together as a family and not have to do things separate. So I built this business for that reason. So as we're going towards goals, we need to remember to experience and enjoy and love the things that we're building this business for. Not wait until they get there, but to experience them as you go. So the topic today, after this one quick announcement that I want to share with you guys today, is I want to make sure you guys know about Coach Summit in St. Louis, July 13th to July 17th. This is probably the event I am most excited about, because we've been 2 years almost without live events due to the whole COVID thing. I had the experience to go to a leadership retreat, but that was for 5-star diamonds and above. Summit is for anybody, a brand new coach, a coach that might not even be a coach yet, that signs up next week on Mike's team or on Vera's team, and they watch this training and they decide they want to go. Summit is for them. It's for everybody. Seasoned coaches, brand new coaches. That's in St. Louis, July 13th through July 17th. You can earn it. There's a new coach discounted ticket. All you got to do is go to www.coachsummit.com. It shows the ticket prices. It also shows you that if you hit Success Club in your first 3 times in your first 6 months of signing up, you get a free ticket to that event. So make the decision right now that you're going to go. And with that thought being said, I'm going to share a quote from Michael Jordan. He said, "Once I made a decision, I never thought about it again." And I think that is so powerful, because whether you're trying to overcome an addiction or change your eating habits or building a business or whatever it is, probably the biggest piece of advice, I'm going to teach you guys about inviting 101 today. But the biggest piece of advice I could give you on inviting 101 is make the decision that I'm going to do this business. Like I'm going to work hard on my own health and fitness. I'm going to grow myself through my personal development, and I will build this business. Like making that concrete decision. So that was Michael Jordan that shared that quote. We're going to go right into inviting 101. I already told Mike, if you have questions, please just stop me. There's also a little chat box right here. I just typed something in it. I have that open so I can see it. So feel free to type a question in there if you want as well. So first thing I want to start about is your social media. Like I have up here, it shows my Instagram. I just did a screenshot, I think yesterday or the day before. And I want you to understand the different parts of your business. Your social media is like the front door of your business. Your Instagram bio and your profile on that photo communicate a lot. And that could be whether it's your Instagram or your Facebook. The things I'm going to talk to you guys mostly about will be mostly targeted towards Instagram, but the same concepts will work with any social media. I know Mike and I talked about LinkedIn. The same thing can happen a lot with LinkedIn. Like your profile, your picture, what that bio says on there will communicate a lot about what you stand for and what your mission is. So a couple of things I want you to think about as you work on that front door of your business is, who are you? What is your mission? What's important to you? What does your brand stand for? What's your personality? And how can people contact you? Okay, all of those things need to be present and ongoing in your thing. So you can see here on mine, I put business mentor. So I want people right from the beginning. Like I don't even put that I'm a health coach, because yes, I help people with health and fitness. They're going to see weight. Like if you see my pictures here in my profile grid, you see weights, you see me doing a goofy reel, falling over with my weights. You see me lifting weights. Like people know that I do health and fitness by what I show on my social media. But my brand and target audience that I want to connect with are people who are overworked, underpaid, and underappreciated. They're looking for ways to build their retirement, retire early, get out of debt, help put their kids through college, pay for their weddings and all of that stuff. And they just don't know how to do it. So that's my target. So I put right at the top that I'm a business mentor, and then obviously my name. A quick piece of advice is make sure that you have just a picture of you so people can see an inviting picture of you so people can see who they are talking to when they come into your social media. So make sure it's well lit, that you're not hiding your face behind sunglasses or anything like that, that you are out there showing who you are. And then I kind of show my mission or how I can help somebody. So when someone lands on your page, maybe they watch one of your videos, one of your reels, and they're like, okay, that was funny, or that was valuable. I'm going to check out who this person is. You need to capture their attention so that they want to follow you and see more of your content. So for me, I help you achieve and maintain health and fitness goals and teach you how to build your own biz. I'd write business, but you only have so many letters, so many words you can put in that caption. So then I put some of what my credentials are, a 7-figure earner. And then I put building leaders, not followers. So a lot of the things I talk about, like, yes, I want to grow my social media following. I want more eyes than 15,300. But I don't just want 100,000 followers. I want to build leaders. I don't care about having followers. I want to build people up. And then the last thing right there, way to contact you. I have a link tree. There's tons of videos. Just go to YouTube. There's other options other than Linktree as well. Linktree is, basically an option for you to put multiple links into one link. So you can build lots of links. So I have like a coach application inside of there. I have like a 2-week free trial. You can just click on mine and see what I have there later. and then build what you want for people to contact you. One of the most important things will be the ability to email you or get a hold of you one-on-one. Just to give you an idea, right before this call, I opened up an email from my contact me form. Someone said, hey, I was a coach 8 years ago. I haven't been a coach for 4 years, but I love Shakeology. I want to get back on it, and I want the military discount. And it was just a simple, that person contacted me because they saw, whether it was on my YouTube channel, because I have all this stuff on my YouTube channel, or here on Instagram, they saw it. They liked what they saw. They clicked the link, they filled out the form, and they got in contact with me, and then I sent them a text. So you need to make sure that you have that ability for somebody to contact you. Obviously, they can DM you, they can write you a message in direct messages, but there's other ways to email or other links you can do on Linktree. So we're going to move on from there on to inviting now. So as we talk about inviting, a lot of people have a misconception about what inviting means. A lot of times I've seen, because I've coached people for 10.5 years, they think inviting is maybe you put your progress picture after you finish 21-day fix on social media, and it says, hey, I lost 10 pounds. Who wants to do a group with me? I'm going to start my group on December 15th. Comment if you want to be in my group. And then that's it. That's what they think inviting is. That is not the case. Okay. That's just a very small part of it. And it's an important part. You should be doing that so people are aware that there's that opportunity. But the inviting process is going to come from what we would call, I call it the unsexy part of your Beachbody coaching business, is going to come from all of the activities that I'm going to share with you. These are the exact things that I do every single day. And they're one of my top priorities on my to-do list daily. So Mike asked a question, where can we find a contact form? I believe I even made a YouTube tutorial on how to build a contact form. I just build it on Google Forms. So if you go to your Google account, Google Drive, you can click on forms and you can create a form. And basically you can put, like, they have to put their name, first and last name, their email. You can ask questions like, where are you from? You can just build that form like that. You can check out my form on my Linktree. You can even copy it however you want, use the same questions or whatever. But I built mine on Google Forms. So super powerful. Yeah, you can do them as well for like Job One. Check out this awesome cup I got too. Job One for the elite coaches. Like if you're getting ready to launch Job One, for example, and you're sharing the sample workout on your Instagram, like you could have, on your Instagram stories, there's a little where the GIFs are and the music is and all that, you can put link, like you could link the sample workout and then have people try the sample workout. And then you could link a Google form for someone to apply to be in your next group with Job One when it releases. So you can do a lot of great things with Job One. Also helps you collect their email address for future inviting to other programs as well. So, okay, let's get into the inviting process. One thing I want you guys to know from the beginning, and I absolutely live by this because I'm somebody who received about 30 cold invites from people I'd never talked to, had never commented on any of my stuff. They just sent me a message saying, hey, you should be a coach on my team. We're doing a webinar this Thursday night. Will you come listen? Or, hey, will you do a 3-way call with me and my upline? I'm like, what are you guys even talking about? I don't even know who you are. So do not send a cold invite ever, okay? So there's 3 stages. We're going to go through them over the next slides. I have an itchy throat, like really bad. So you guys are going to have to bear with me. Stage 1 is going to be follow, like or comment, and then start the relationship. That's stage 1. Stage 2 is going to be going into their direct messages and building the relationship. Stage 3 is going to be the actual invite, the follow-up, and the closing of the sale. And a lot of this is going to make sense to you, Mike, since you are in sales, but I'm going to relate this directly to how we're going to do this as a coach, whether it's to your challenge group or whether it's to your the coaching opportunity. So number 1, start the relationship. There's a 3-1-1 process I'm going to teach you guys. And maybe you guys can write this down so that you can remember to do this with each person. It's like 3 of their posts, at least 3 of them. Sometimes I'll like 10 or 15 of them if I think they're really my type of person and I like their content. Like 3 posts, comment on at least one of them, ask a question, comment, whatever it is. And then the next step is to go into their inbox. And this next step where it says be genuine, I think is super, super important. If you don't relate to them, move on. Like, to be honest with you, I'm not in the phase of my life where partying is a thing at all. So if all of their things are like them token or partying or at the dance club, and that's all their posts are about, like, I'm not going to be in there and be like, hey, that looks like you're having an awesome time. I'm not going to comment on something that I don't relate with and that I'm not genuine about. There's going to be thousands of people out there in the world that you can truly connect with genuinely. So I want you guys to remember that. And then next thing is get into their stories. This is one of my biggest ways to get somebody to respond to me is I watch their Instagram stories if they post them, and then I'll respond to them. I'll comment, when their story comes up, you can write in the bottom, you can comment or whatever to it. So I'll comment on their story. So I warned Mike about this before, and if you're driving, don't do this or watching the recording, but I want you guys to grab your phone right now. We're going to actually do it to at least one person. Okay. I'm going to show you guys how I do this. I do it to 10 people a day, but we're just going to do like one right now. Oh, I got Jay trying to get in. I better watch that a little closer. So what we're going to do is you're going to go into your Instagram right now, open it up. You guys, if you're on your phone and you can't really do this, you can do it later, but Mike, if you're on your computer and you can do this, let's do it. Okay. I want you to go to your last, reel or story or video. So I'll go to this one that I posted today. I haven't done it yet today on this post. I usually do it the next day. So like this is my post from yesterday. So today I reached out to people that liked or commented on this one. I'll just do one from this one. So what you do is I will click on, no one's commented on it. So I'll click on who liked it and it will pop up. This is for newbies as well, if you don't know all of this stuff. And it shows everybody that liked that post, and it shows which ones I'm following or if I'm not following them. And I'll scroll through it and I'll find somebody that I haven't talked to. And it might be even somebody that I talked to, like, oh, I haven't talked to them for months or years. I'll start that over with them. But I'll find somebody I haven't talked to. Okay, I've never talked to Jessica before. She's a Christian coach helping moms. She might be a Beachbody coach, so I'll skip that one for right now. Actually, I'm not going to skip that. That's a bad piece of advice because she could have her own business doing something else and may know nothing about health and fitness. So I'm going to like 3 of her posts that I can relate with. So I like them. So I want you to do that as well. Go like at least 3 posts. And then I'm going to comment on one of them. Okay. Oh, here's a gym picture. So I'm just going to put, they're like flex. She's like flexing. Or she's like doing some flex pose like this. So I'm just going to tell her that she's looking strong. So I'm going to just give a compliment. Okay. So go comment on at least one. So you've liked at least 3 of their posts. You're going to comment on one. And then the next step is super important. You're going to go into their inbox. So you're going to go hit message. Okay. And I moved on to the next slide here. You're going to go into the inbox. So you just click, and if you're not, here's a little piece of advice. If you're not following, you have to follow them and you're not following them. There's 3 little dots in the corner of their name. Can you see that, Mike? Or if it's not somebody you've talked to before, and you can hit send message, even if you're not following them yet. Okay. So yeah, if you're not friends or there's an option to messages in there, you can hit that. And then this is where we're going to build a relationship. You're going to be relatable. So here's some ideas. Say thank you. You could ask for advice. You could ask them about anything. Just remember that you're speaking to a human, right? We're all humans, and you're going to just speak to this human. So here's like a little script. I don't want you to use exact scripts, but like it's good to have an idea of what types of things you could say. So here's something similar to what I would say. So I'd say, hey, Stephanie, that's the person on here. Thank you so much for following along with our life. It's always a little crazy over here, but I love encouraging others in fitness, nutrition, and life. I don't think we've met, and I do quote, I don't think we've met yet. So I just wanted to pop in and say hello and then ask a question. So my question, by the way, I have that copy and paste, so I'll just copy and paste that. My question to her is, I'm going to say like, how long have you been going to the gym? That's going to be my question in that case for that one person. Okay. So Mike, I want you to send, and Vera, if you're there, Jay, if you're seeing this, I want you to do that. I want you to find one person that liked your comment on the post. You're going to like 3 of their posts. You're going to comment on one, and you're going to go into their inbox. And you're just going to say, thank you. Or you're going to ask them something. When it says ask for advice, maybe they're a woodworker. Maybe they just did their tile floor. You're going to just ask them a question about it. Like one thing I think you'll understand is that people like to talk. People like to talk about themselves, and they like to talk about what they know about. So if there's something they're talking about passionately or a lot, whether it's fitness or whether it's crafting or whether it's painting or whether it's art, like if I was going to go to Vera, is it Vera or I don't know. Is it Vera? Oh, it's muted. Vera. Oh yeah. Anyway, we're going to get that later because I don't want to say it wrong. Okay. She just did an awesome painting and it took tons of hours. So if I didn't know her and she liked my post and I was going to reach out to her, I would ask her a question. Like there's 2 figures, I believe, if I remember right, in the picture that she painted, and it has some red rock backgrounds. I would ask her if I didn't know yet, I would say like, hey, do those 2 figures represent somebody? Like, I'm curious, is that somebody in your life? Like I would just ask questions about that. And that's how I would begin to build the relationship. And one thing I want you to think about is like each of us in this coaching journey are in different parts, different stages of our journey. For me, I was really great at this out of the gate from day one because I learned this skill as a missionary. So I was a missionary for my church. So I had to knock on doors. I had to try to relate with someone as quickly as possible before they shut the door on me. And sometimes that would be like seeing their kids running outside. And I'd be like, hey, are these your kids? Like, how old are they? I would have to start that conversation and try to connect with them as fast as possible so that we could connect. So all I had to do is take that skill I learned as a missionary that I did every day for 2 years and relate it and transfer it into social media. Does that make sense? So just remember, you're a human. Follow these things, kind of come up with your own script or whatever of like how to initiate that conversation, and then always end it with a question, because if not, they might just give you the thumbs up or just like your comment, and you want them to respond. You want to start a conversation with them. What I want you to remember from the beginning, don't rush into this is the inviting 101. Don't rush into inviting them to your team or your challenge group. Build a relationship first. I don't care if it takes you a month. I don't want it to take a month, but I don't care if it takes a month for you before you initially make the invite. Like, I want you to do this genuinely and with a way that feels best to you. Now, when I say that, I don't want that to be an excuse to never invite anybody, but just make sure that you're not rushing that process. Okay. Next, watching your stories. This is the same for getting into people's inbox. This is probably one of the best ways for me to initially start a conversation. And I want you to think about this. When you're sharing your stories, like you're sharing maybe something you did shooting hoops with your kid, or you're sharing what it looks like doing homework with your child, or you're sharing your workout, whatever it is, you're inviting somebody in a way into your home. Like, you've invited them into your home to see your life. So you will 100% have permission to look at that list of people that are looking into your home and life and say something to them. right? To send them a message. It's not weird for you to send them a message. Like they're looking at your life and watching it. So this is probably the best way, or the way that I get most of my conversations started. And how you do that, and because we're doing this as a 101, you go to your stories. For example, here's my workout clip from yesterday. So what you can do is at the bottom, it says seen by. You click that and it shows a list of everybody that saw that post, that saw that story. You can see every single human that saw that story. So you're going to do the same thing. Mike, Jay, I want you guys all to someone that you haven't talked to or invited or anything like that. I want you to click on their name. I want you to do the same thing. Like 3 posts, comment on one of the posts, and then go into their direct messages, go into their DMs. And then here's an idea of how to keep it simple, right? Watching your story, keep it simple. Hey, I can say, hey, Mike, I see you following my stories. Let me know if you'd like info about the online fitness groups I run. I just wanted to extend the offer. Did you want some info? And then I say something like, thanks again for following along. Or here's another idea. Hey, Mike, I see you following my stories. Let me know if you'd like info about the online fitness groups that I run. I know you've been following for a while, so I just wanted to extend the offer. Okay. And I think it's powerful to make that sort of invite. Like these are the people that might be watching your workouts every single day, right? So they know that you work out. Maybe they're like inspired by it or whatnot. And they're not going to know that they can be in your challenge group or be in your bod group unless you let them know. So you have to send this message. And an example that I like to give is, let's imagine that I'm going to do a neighborhood barbecue and all of you guys live in my neighborhood. Like I could print out this paper and go put it on the mailbox for our cul-de-sac. It could say Hobbs family barbecue, or like neighborhood barbecue, the Hobbs residents have my address, bring your kids, bring a dessert. We're going to provide all the hot dogs and hamburgers, right? I could do that. I could put it up. It's Saturday at 7:00 p.m. Some of you guys might come, but I'll tell you, it's only going to be like the people who love the party and the extremely extroverted people that are going to come, possibly. Even those guys might be like, I don't know the Hobbs. I don't know if it's for me or not. Now, I want you to take that same scenario. Maybe I put that up there on the mailbox, but then I go knock on I go out on a walk with the kids, and either they're out mowing their lawn or they're playing with their kids, or they're not, or they're inside. I go knock on the door and I'm like, hey, my name's Scott. This is Gabby. Hey, we're the ones doing the barbecue on Saturday. I just wanted to let you know that you're welcome to come. And I could even be like, hey, are these your 3 kids right here? Or I could see the family picture when they open the door. Hey, my kids are about that age. Would you guys like to come over and to the barbecue we're doing Saturday night for the neighborhood? So I'm going to ask you guys that pose this question. Which scenario would you personally be more likely to attend the barbecue? It would be that number 2 option almost every time. So guys, that is the most important part of this invite process, is you have to get into the direct messages. You have to be building that relationship, connecting with them, sharing some sort of message with them, and inviting them to come. Okay. And that's going to be vital. When I talk about this, like I put a social media post up every day. That was the first slide, your social media presence, adding value, whatever your brand is, doing that, right? But 90% of my time when I'm not mentoring a coach is in this activity we're talking about. Seeing who's watching my stories, commenting on their stuff, liking their stuff, going into their DMs, and just building or having conversations every single day. It's like the majority of my work. Okay. So the next slide we're going to talk about, this is going on. We talked about what someone does when they, get a new follower, when they're they're watching your stories. Like if someone's liking your post, right? You put up your post, like Mike, I know you put a Shakeology post up today. Let's say someone likes it. You can say, hey, I saw you like my post about day 3 of my Shakeology, because that's what yours was today. Let me know if you'd like info about the online health and fitness group that I run. And I appreciate you for following along, however it might be, right? Whatever feels best and sounds like you. Or, hey, I see you following my post. Let me know if you'd like info about the online fitness groups that I run. I just wanted to extend that offer. Do you want some info? And once again, that's going back to that example of knocking on someone's door and inviting them to the barbecue. Okay. One thing that I don't think I teach enough is, like, I did that. My goal is to do that to 10 new people every single day. I had someone just tell me, oh, I just joined a CrossFit gym, and I, like, in the past month, I've lost 8 pounds. And I was like, holy freaking awesome. That you have to be feeling so good. Right. And so I congratulate them for what they've accomplished in that. I see too often people get offended or try to be like, oh, my home workout's better than your gym, or this is better than that. You never, ever want to do that. Our goal is not to sell everyone Beachbody on demand and have them drink Shakeology. Our goal is to help end the trend of obesity, right? And help others live a healthier, more fulfilling life. If us cheering on someone doing a Peloton ride or doing CrossFit, like, if we're cheering them on for that, we're living that mission, right? We're not just trying to make a sell to what we have to offer. Right. And then your example is use your Shakeology, use your pre-workout, do the ultimate reset, use our products, transform with that. And then if they're looking for a different solution with their nutrition or their energy levels, or an option at home when that time is needed, they know who to come to, and not someone that was like, oh, my stuff's better than your stuff type of person. Right. So remember that always. Okay. I'm like throwing in little tidbits of advice as we go through this invite. This is called the sorry invite. I do this when I fail to invite when I should have, or if it's just like someone that has slipped by and I've seen that they've been watching forever and I realize that I haven't messaged them, or maybe I messaged them once and then like 6 months later, I'm like, oh crap, like I missed responding to them or didn't follow up, because I'm not an organized person. I never have been. And I'm also very introverted. So like doing all this is very challenging for me. I say something like this: thank you so much for following along on my stories again today. You're always so faithful to watch and support us, or however it might be, right? I had to reach out and say that I'm sorry I haven't done this before, or I haven't invited you before, because we've been friends for a long time. But would you like more info on our next boot camp? So right now, when I'm doing that, it's like, sorry, I haven't reached out to you for a long time. I just wanted to know if you are interested in trying out the sample for our new program. It's 20 minutes long, right? So that's what my sorry invite would look like. And it would say something like, I don't even know if you have a specific health goal, but I love this community and I love being able to connect with others over health and fitness. And I've done that for the past 10 and a half years. Would you be up to learn more about, this Job One program, or the live interactive workouts, whatever it is that you're currently talking about, you could plug that in like that. Okay. Next, I'm going to throw this in. This is the form process, the actual invite, because you can send all these messages we've been talking about. Someone that liked your post, a new follower, someone that sent you a direct message, somebody that is watching your stories. I gave you a few different scripts and ideas of how you can start that conversation. But then the question that I think a lot of people get stuck at is they're like, yes, I'd like info on your boot camp. And then a new coach is like, crap, what do I say next? Right? Like, oh, what's next? What do I do? And that's where I get the most messages. I'm confused on what to do next. So I'm going to maybe take a screenshot of this while I clear my throat. But the process I learned in the beginning was called FORM, acronym for family, occupation, relationships, and message. Okay. And what this means, remember, when we're going into someone's DM, we're not jumping all the time right to an invite. We need to build that relationship. We're never going to do a cold invite to a random person we've never talked to. So to build that relationship, this just kind of gives you an idea of things to ask about. Family, you can ask about their family, ask about their kids, ask about their spouse. You can ask about what do you do for work? That's the one I almost always go to, because my main market is I want to mentor people in this business, which has to do with what income, do they love their job? What are their financial goals? And so a lot of my conversations are around occupation. Ask if they've always done that. My coach, Lindsay, did very well at that. When she was forming me, FORM, on the phone during my first phone call, and she found out that I wrote service manuals and ran the service department, she asked me if that's what I always wanted to do. And that question hurt so bad. She didn't intend to hurt me, but it reminded me that that was not my goal and my dream. My dream was to be a professional musician or a professional baseball player, which tied along with I wanted the feeling of being on some sort of platform where I could inspire people, where I could be great at something and inspire people. So her asking questions about my occupation made me think like, I'm not where I want to be. And I don't see how I can get to where I want to be in my current occupation. So occupation, you can talk about relationships. And then the last one is message. Make sure that you share your message. So my simple message as a brand, because we're going to talk Coach 101, or Invite 101, my simple message was this. I found through a friend a home workout program. He invited me to work out at the gym with him, but I worked 12-hour days. I committed to that program, and it was called P90X. And in 90 days, I lost 38 pounds and had abs for the first time. And I started to get my self-esteem back. I had extra energy, so much extra energy that I was jogging on my lunch break instead of napping. And I just fell in love with telling people about that program and helping them get started on making healthier habits. And then I realized that Beachbody paid people to share those programs with other people. And after about 9 months of doing those programs, I became a coach. And my goal as a coach was to help as many people as possible feel like I did, to get results with these programs. And I knew that if I helped enough people get results with those programs, my wife wouldn't have to work the night shifts, and we could be together in the evenings as a family. So literally, that was my message. So I'd be like, Mike, so I'm committed to helping you lose those next 50 pounds and feeling like you want to feel, because that means that I'm getting closer to that goal of bringing my wife home from work. See, that was my 2-minute message that I would share. I didn't go on and about, this is what the meal plan, this is what the P90X nutrition guide looks like. And on this day, you're going to do Plyo X, and this day is yoga and it's 90 minutes. And then you're going to do chest and back on this day. Like, I didn't give all the details. I asked questions about them, understood what their goals were, what they wanted out of their health and fitness, what they wanted out of their nutrition, what they wanted out of their energy levels, what they want out of their life. Then I shared my message, and then I made an invite. And my invite wasn't like I assume that everybody is going to join as a customer or coach with a total solution pack. And I portray that in how, after we have that conversation, and just saying like, when do you want to get started, Mike? I'm just I don't be like, hey, is that something you think you want to do? Like, I talk to, like, when I get on and the majority of this, I start it in a Facebook message or a text, and sometimes it stays in there, but I try to get on the phone with them. Give you guys an idea. It's like 20 minutes of me asking about their family, their job, their relationships, finding out what they want to accomplish, what their goals are, how much weight they want to lose, how they want to feel, what they expect to get out of it. And then I say like, okay, I know that if you drink Shakeology every single day, you do your workout every day, you stay connected and do check-ins with me once a week, that you can achieve that goal. Like, I know that you can do that. When do you want to get started? And I basically tell them exactly what they need to get. Right. And I think too many people hesitate in like trying to let them decide everything. Like, you're the coach. And I know there's a ton of options. There's Body, there's Ultimate Reset, there's 3-Day Refresh, there's Beach Bars, there's collagen. I keep my process so simple. It's Beachbody on demand, now Beachbody on demand plus Body and Shakeology. Everybody needs that. So I'll just directly take them into that. That's where I get them started. So over here, I wrote some of those things. Ask what they want to accomplish. Affirm they can accomplish that by following a program and having support. Ask them, when do you want to get started? So I just tell them, when do you want to get started? And I give them that space. I say, hey, Mike, I know you probably need to talk with your spouse. So how about I let you do that tonight, and then I can reach back out to you tomorrow. Unless they tell me right then they're ready. If I hear that, that's why I love the phone, because I can hear a hesitation. They're either going to say like right now or hesitate a little bit. If they start to hesitate, I just say, hey, go home and talk with your spouse about it. I've already understood that they have a spouse. They've been married for 10 years or whatever it might be from the forming. And I tell them to go have that conversation. And I just ask them, will it be okay if I send you a text tomorrow? So then let them know that you will next be sending them a share a cart. So I just tell them, I have an example from today, but it's just very straightforward. Someone told me what they needed. I said, you're going to need Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology. I need what flavor you want and your email address, and I'll send you that link. Like, just be very straightforward. Okay. Next, holy cow, we're 45 minutes in. We're going to definitely end this by an hour. Okay. This is something I learned in the very beginning. Now we have the business activity tracker, right? Which talks about a lot of these things, putting a post on social media every single day, starting new conversations every single day. These are all part of the business activity tracker under the invite section. But in the beginning, we had what was called the game plan. When I started, I'm the dinosaur grandpa coach, remember? We didn't have the business activity tracker. It was the game plan. And the last step was the fortune is in the follow-up. Okay. The fortune is in the follow-up. Almost every single person that joins my challenge group or a group or my team as a coach has received multiple follow-ups from me of checking in on them. And we could talk forever here on this, but I'm going to go show you this little, a little script, right? And do it however feels best to you. But it says, I haven't been able to quit thinking about helping you get started, or helping you be very specific, helping you lose those 50 pounds that we talked about. Your desire to lose those 50 pounds is powerful. That the reason for you wanting to be healthy for your kids is so important. And I'm ready to help you go. I sent you all the info, and it looks like you opened it up. Do you have any questions or any concerns that you want to talk about, or are we ready to get your sign up started? Right? So do those follow-ups, guys. And sometimes if people won't respond to me, get creative. Like, here's something that what I want you guys to understand. We're coaches, so we use social media as a business. We take specific actions to start conversations, build relationships, make invites, and follow up. Most people don't use it for that. They use it to entertain themselves or to pass time. So let's say, Mike, we had a conversation. We talked about what you want. I sent you a share a cart, and then nothing. You don't sign up, right? The order doesn't go through. Like, I could send you a message like this, and maybe you don't answer that message, right? Okay. So what do I do next? Like, I never want to be someone that's annoying or irritating. So the one thing that I do is I go back into building the relationship. Like, I make sure that I stay into that phase. So my best way to do that is I'll go back to your social media if you use it, or your stories, and I'll comment on stuff. Maybe Mike was on vacation. Maybe Mike was on a business trip to Idaho Falls for a week, and he wasn't on his social media, and he didn't even see the message that I sent him or the link, right? So you have to be intentional about getting creative on how to make connection with them. Sometimes it'll be, I'll do it via text. I'll go to their stuff and I'll be like, oh, they're freaking in Hawaii. I wouldn't be like checking my Facebook and trying to buy a product while I'm in Hawaii either, right? So check out, maybe their mother's in the hospital, maybe their kid's sick, right? So make sure that you remember these people are humans and not cells, right? So the fortune is important. The fortune, that follow-up is important, but you have to be creative in that follow-up. And they do say it takes seven exposures a lot of time for someone to be open to something. And I feel it kind of can be the same way with the follow-ups. I even see it with myself. Like, I'm a very fairly committed person when it comes to things. I got asked to give a closing prayer at a big church meeting in December for a big conference. I got a voicemail. I saw it, but I was at my son's basketball game. I didn't listen to it. I just read the transcript, put my phone back in, watched the game. A week later, I got a phone call again, and I was like, oh crap. And I opened it. I totally forgot that he left that voicemail for me because I was present at my son's game. Does that make sense? So the fortune in this case for him getting me committed to doing the prayer at that event in December was the follow-up. And it wasn't because I didn't want to do it or I was ignoring him or I thought he was annoying for sending me a message. It's because I was occupied with something else. Maybe they open your message while they're at the stoplight. I'm not encouraging that, but maybe they did it. Maybe they did it at the waiting in the pickup line to pick up their kid from school. They see the message, their daughter jumps in the car, they put their phone in their pocket and they forget. So remember, the fortune is in the follow-up. Okay. People need to process the information. Sometimes the money issues will keep people silent. They might have old fears, but maybe they tried something before and they didn't follow through with it and they don't want to waste the money. So all of these things might be objections and you're not going to find out about them unless you remember they're a human and you do what you can to engage with them. Okay. Back door of your business. And I got to hustle this up. Okay. These are some rules I live by in the invite process. I already told you, like outside of mentoring my team, like team calls or one-on-one calls with my coaches or masterminds, 90% of my remaining time, I could put that into 10% is creating content and doing my stories. This is outside of mentoring my team. And 90% of that time is in this stuff that we've been talking about today, the invite. Rules that I live by. Number one, 80% of the work is behind the scenes and messages, not your social media posts, not your Instagram stories. 80% of the invite process is done in these behind the scenes inbox messages. Rule number two, if I wake up and there's not any messages in my inbox, I didn't do my job the day before. I wasn't in my inbox having conversations, following up, inviting, starting new conversations, doing everything that we talked about. I'm not doing my job if my inbox is empty the next day. I would be fired if it was a real job. Okay. So I have to remember that. Rule number three, people are going to get excited about what you get excited about. So remember that, like your faith plus your enthusiasm plus your action, like you can't be like, let's say you want to talk about job one. Let's say you want to talk about any program, Beachbody on Demand. Let's say Beachbody on Demand and Shakeology, and you're not excited to drink your Shakeology, or you're not drinking it every day, or you're not doing your workouts. People are not going to get excited about it if you're not excited about it. So you have to find a way to be excited about what you're doing. The same thing will go for your business. If you're not excited about the goals you're trying to achieve, or the vision you're trying to accomplish, or the person that you're trying to become, the people that you're trying to speak to on social media are not going to be excited about it either. Okay. Like I had a little moment like 6 months ago where I was kind of in this little dread phase of like the activities were a little dreadful to me for some reason. I got into that space. It happens. And like, I just made a decision after chatting with some of our Star Diamonds. I was like, and with my corporate mentor, she's like, what are your goals? And we were talking big things like building a superstar diamond team. We were talking about income goal, all these big things. And I was like, you know what my goal is? Like right now, and this was 6 months ago, I'm only recruiting one coach a month. I used to recruit 20 coaches in 1 month. I'm recruiting one, maybe 3 at the most. So my goal right now is to recruit 5 coaches a month. So the action I took behind that was like, I got to get excited about coaching. Like I got to be excited about the business opportunity. And I was just so comfortable for so long because I've lived this life at home for 10 years. Like I lost that space of being excited about building more income and so forth. Right. And so I got excited about it. The next day, like I was getting my teeth cleaned and my dental hygienist is like a fitness competitor and has her own brand and sells like her own meal plans and all this stuff. And I was just so excited as I talked about body and mix coming out and everything that we were doing. She's like, you know what? Like, I think I should probably be a coach too. I think I could like add that on and recommend the supplements. And I know Shakeology is good stuff. Like, I think I should do this. And guys, I've been seeing her for 10 years, every 6 months, but I never shared that excitement with coaching like I did with her during that time. Right. And so if you're lacking, if you're not connecting in your invite sometimes, that would be one of the places I would look at as well, your own belief. And are you excited about what you're talking about? Okay, next. We've been talking about a lot about inviting, but mostly directed towards your challenge group or doing a fitness challenge with you. Inviting to coaching is no different. Like I just mentioned with my dental hygienist, talking about the coaching opportunity, you need to talk about it over and over. Talk about what it's done for you. And it doesn't have to be only financial. It doesn't have to be something that you've already accomplished, because every single successful coach that you saw at one time had no income and no rank with Beachbody. So what did they talk about? I can guarantee you every single one of them talked about what their coach had accomplished and how they believed that if they did it, they could do it too. And they talked about the vision of what they wanted to accomplish. It doesn't have to be huge either. Like my vision was to make $10,000. I told everybody I'm going to make $10,000 with Beachbody so my wife can leave her job. Right. So I constantly talked about what it was doing for me. And I shared that. And like, we were so paycheck to paycheck. Like I remember celebrating the wins along the way. My wife worked at the Hilton Garden Inn. And so we got $45 a night hotel stays. So like through her, like with my Beachbody income, we got a night at the Hilton Garden Inn for $45. We got our free breakfast and we went out to the cheap theater and spent like $25. So I spent like $70. And like, we talked about it on my social media, like I remember it was a picture in the hallway with all the kids in their swimsuits and me getting ready to go to the pool. And we're like, I just shared how I was so grateful for my coach opportunity, that I could help people get results like I got, and that they were paying me and I could do this staycation with my kids. Right. So I was talking about what it was doing for me. That's not a big, huge thing. It was like $75. Does that make sense? So talk about the wins as you go, talk about what coaching does for you, not just financially, but for your mindset, for your personal development, for your growth, for your confidence, for your community, for the friendships. Talk about everything that coaching is doing and doing for you, and talk about it constantly. And then remember that it's going to take time plus consistency for people to join you. Think about your own start, how long it took you. For me, I did P90X, had incredible results. And it still took me 9 months after my first round of P90X to sign as a coach. So if Jay goes and invites somebody to join and they say, no, not for me, that's okay. You stay consistent in talking about what it's doing for you, what it's going to do for you, what your vision is, and then let them, with the time plus seeing your consistency, convince them. And they're not going to be convinced unless you continue on with that journey. Okay. Next. Oh, we only got 2 slides. We're going to make it. One of the things that I'm just reminded of as I talk about this, in every single one of my getting started right calls with my new coaches, I used to tell them, as you're doing this invite process, we haven't talked about this on this call, but write down the names of the people that start to engage with you and tell you their goals. I don't write down anybody else's names, but I write down those people so I can do follow-ups. Every single one of those people, as you're inviting them, write down their names so that you don't have to take up extra mental space trying to remember who to talk to and what to do next, so that you know, like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to follow up with these 10 people. As you're doing that, remember that process. Okay. And I totally lost my train of thought where I was going to go with that, but I did. I was going to say something. I totally forgot, but I did teach a very valuable point that I do right there is writing down their names. What was I going to say? It was so important. I think it's not on my slides, but if I remember, I'll tell you. But I'm going to give you guys some ideas right here. You'll have to screenshot this. Obviously I have a screenshot of it already, so I can put it in the team page when I put the recording in there as well. But these are some ideas of what you could talk about with coaching. Like I listed off a bunch of them. I'm not going to read all these, but I'm just going to read through a couple of them to give you an idea. You could share a fear that you overcame through coaching. You can share a lesson you learned from your personal development. You could share a financial transformation of your own, or your coach or your accountability partner. You could talk about freedom of time posts. You could talk about how coaching gives you accountability to your own personal fitness goals. Like, I don't think I would be as fit and healthy as I am right now if I didn't have the role of a coach, where I knew that I needed to show up every single day to my challenge group and my bod group and be the example, hands down. And all the times that I did fall off, I got on track a lot faster than I believe I would have ever done before, knowing that I have a role as a coach. So that's a huge benefit of a coach. That's something we can talk about. So there's a whole list of coaching post ideas right there for you guys. And then this is just something, because I'm very faith-based, I want to share with you guys. And there are different activities, but the same God produces each gift in each person. So what I want you guys to remember as you're going through the invite process, going through building your coaching business, is we're all each different. We all have our own unique abilities, gifts, and skills. My coach, Lindsay, she always, and I don't take it in an offensive way by any means. I'm like, yeah, that's so true. She always says it when she recognizes me or we're around people and she's introduced me to a new coach. She's like, Scotty doesn't have like some big special talent or gift or charisma. Like, his thing is he is just consistent. Like, he just knows how to show up every single day. And so that's true. So that's a gift that God has given me, that I have the ability, whether it's been built over time or just a gift that was given to me, I have the ability, when I want something, I will show up every single day for it and put the time and energy into it. Another gift, just so I could be very vulnerable and relatable with you guys. One of my gifts is it's not very good. I'm not a very good listener. I'm super awkward when in casual conversations. If I'm specific about asking people about their business goals, their life goals, their health and fitness goals, like, I could talk forever. But if it's small talk, I was with my daughter and her 3 friends at lunch. I didn't say but like 5 words. Like, they just talked. I didn't know what to say. Small talk. I'm bad at it. Right. So it's not my gift. Some people are good at that. My wife has an extraordinary gift. There's someone in our lives that's a doctor of some sort. And my wife was seeing her for some health issues she's going through. And she asked about what he was doing for the weekend, and his family was going somewhere. And he's like, I'm going to stay back. And like, for me, I'd be like, oh, cool. Like, whatever, like, oh, that sounds fun and relaxing. That would be me. That's like what I would say. She continued to ask questions just because that's who she is. Doesn't take any effort. And he ended up letting her know that he's going into his first cancer treatment on Friday. And like, I personally would have never found that out. Like, I can almost guarantee you, but she has that gift, that intuition to just listen to people and ask the right questions. So as you go through this invite process, I want you guys to remember that you have a gift, some sort of gift, whatever that might be. And as you go through these activities, inviting activities every single day, which is the majority of your work, to really start to discover what makes you the most happy. Where do you feel the most fulfilled? Because that's going to be your zone of genius, your zone of specialty, where you're going to really be able to make the magic happen. Okay. For me, one of my things, like, I'm not very good at asking. I'm not like my wife in the, like, where I can sense things like that and ask questions. I think one of my biggest traits is I'm a crybaby. Like, my dad is too. So anything will happen and I'll cry. I cried during watching Cruella de Vil last night. Like, her mom got pushed over the edge by 3 dogs and she was hiding in the grass, and I cried. Right. Like, I teared up. Like, that's why I'm very empathetic. When Gabby told me that news, like, I teared up. I'll hear a song, I'll tear up. Like, at least 3 times a day. That's a gift I have. And I think that's really beneficial for me in this business, because someone in their DMs will tell me, hey, like, I really want to get started, but I have to go see the doctor this weekend because of whatever. And like, I'll feel it deeply. Right. And so I feel I can connect more with people like that, because I'm very empathetic in that. So that's one of my gifts, being consistent and being empathetic. So I want you guys to think about what your gifts might be and how to best use those gifts so that you can reach and connect with the most people. So we've been on for an entire hour. I don't want to go too much longer. I didn't check the chat. I'm sorry. So I might lose service. Okay. I may have missed this. How many of these do you do per day? So Jay asked, how many new conversations do I start per day? I do 10 personally. Okay. I do 10 a day is my goal. Sometimes I fall short and sometimes I'll do more. Right. But my goal is 10. I'll never do less than 5. That's like a guarantee, is I'll never do less than 5. What I found is that if I stay consistent in doing 10 per day, I can hit Success Club 10 in my business and 5 in Gabby's every month. And I've done that for 127 months. When I struggle to hit Success Club, I can always look back, and it's when I don't start as many conversations 100% of the time. So it's important that you track like that. Yeah, I'll send the slides over to you. I have them on a PDF. I also have them on Canva, so you can edit them however you want as well. So I can do that. Does anybody have, I'm usually like I got to jump, let's jump off so this doesn't go too long. But if you are here live and have a question, feel free to ask it in the chat or just unmute and ask me anything about the inviting process. And if not, we can just continue on.
I have a quick question in regards to the inviting with Instagram. You know, the stage when you says follow, like, comment. Do you do any like special searches to find a niche through Instagram?
Yeah, and this happens from time to time. It happened more so when I wasn't creating new reels, or when reels wasn't a thing. Now that I'm doing reels, I find that I get new eyes on my content constantly, that I don't have to go out and search. Like, I find people are liking my stuff or watching my stuff that can relate with me already, or they wouldn't come watch my stuff, right? But whenever I've gotten into a stage where I'm not getting new eyes on my stories, not getting new people liking my posts, not getting new followers, then I will specifically go out to a niche or a hashtag, and I'll do the same process. And I won't do the cold. It's the same stuff. No cold invites. So the main place that I go to in that is I'm an outdoorsman. Like, I love hunting, archery hunting specifically. So I'll go to hunting, hashtag archery hunting, hashtag bull elk, hashtag mule deer, hashtag archery season, like all stuff to do with archery. I'll go find somebody, I'll like their post, their pictures, their posts, whatever. And then I'll go into their inbox and I'll ask them what they hunt. Easy way for me to start a conversation that way. Another great thing is, we talked about earlier, people like to talk about what they know. So I'll ask advice too, or I'll ask like, hey, I see you're shooting a Hoyt bow. Like, which one is that? How do you like that bow? Have you shot anything else? Like, I'm thinking about upgrading next year. Would you recommend that one? Right? So I'll ask them for questions. That's a great question. Okay. And then, does that answer the question completely there, Mike?
100%. Thank you.
Awesome. And so, yeah, if you're not getting new eyes on the content that you're creating, then you definitely have to go out and do that. And it's actually pretty easy to sit down for 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, search that hashtag, and then start those conversations. I have a teacher on my team, a new teacher. He's a band teacher. He creates reels, he gets new eyes on his stuff, but he's specifically hashtag band teacher, hashtag, the instruments that he teaches. And then he can go in and build that relationship with those people. Okay. Jay, I saw your comment about Canva. I'll send you that Canva link so you can just go in and edit them if you need them and whatnot. So, okay. I want to thank you guys for being on the call with me this afternoon. And then we'll continue to see you guys in the team page. If you're not committed to Summit yet, I want you to highly think about it. I know you might need to talk with your spouse, so go ahead and do that. And then we'll see you guys inside of the team page. Okay. We'll see you guys later.
Thank you.